Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Hardi Vhora, me, Khushi Rathod, and Yashraj Sodha are going to present Petals of Blood by Ngũgĩ Thiong'o. Let's begin. The introduction of Ngũgĩ Thiong'o. Ngũgĩ Thiong'o was born on 5th January 1938 in Limuru, Kenya. He was a renowned Kenyan writer. He regarded as East Africa's leading novelist. He authored Weep Not Child in 1964, his first major English novel by an East African. He later adopted his traditional Kikuyu name and began writing in Kikuyu, a Bantu language of Kenya. He was a strong advocate for addressing the effort of colonialism in Africa. He earned bachelor's degree from Makerere University 1963 and Leeds University in 1964. He completed his graduation work at Leeds University. He served as English lecturer and University College, Nairobi, Kenya. He was visiting professor of English at Northwestern University, Illinois, US. He was a senior lecturer and a chair of the literature department at University of Nairobi in between 1972 to 1977. His notable works are Birth of a Dream Weaver, A Writer's Awakening, Devils and On the Cross, Dreams in a Time or War, I Will Marry When I Want, and many more. Here is a he is one of the famous novel, Weep Not Child, which is his first novel published in 1964. The storyline of this novel is it is coming of age story set during Kenya's struggle for independence from British colonial rule. It follows Njoroge, a young boy who dreams of education as a path to a better future. Novel explores the impact of colonialism on Kenyan families and societies. It also highlights the clash between traditional values and modern aspirations. It concludes with themes of loss, resilience, and hope amidst political turmoil. Second one is A Grain of Wheat. It published on 1967. It set during Kenya's struggle for independence. The novel explores the impact of colonialism and the Mau Mau uprising. The term of Mau Mau rebellion is the basic term which Ngũgĩ Thiong'o used to in his all novels. It interwoven narratives, reveals the proposal and political betrayals of characters in a small village. The themes of guilt, sacrifice, and redemption dominate as characters confront their past actions. The title symbolizes hope and rebirth, referencing biblical imagery of sacrifice and collective freedom. A poignant critique of colonial oppression and its lingering effect of identity and community. The introduction of the Petal of Blood, it published in 1977, which deals with social and economic peasants and workers by foreign business interests and a greedy indigenous bourgeoisie. The novel explores the theme of neocolonialism, corruptions, and class struggles in post-independence Kenya. It follows four main characters: Munira, Karega, Wanja, and Abdullah, whose lives intertwines in the village of Ilmorgu. And Ngũgĩ critiques the betrayal of ideals of independence by Kenya's elite people, which leading to economic who's leading to economic inequality and sufferings. The title symbolizes both the violence and beauty of revolutionary struggles. The novel combines uh, social realism, uh, uh, social realism with a strong political message about exploitation of workers and peasants. The Mau Mau rebellion looms as a historical backdrop, symbolizing resistance and the sacrifice made for Kenya's independence. Petals of Blood cemented Ngugi's reputation as a leading African writer and critic of colonial and neo-colonial systems. The term of Mau Mau rebellion. um the Mama was a militant African nationalist movement among the Kikuyu people in 1950s Kenya. It advocated violent resistance against British colonial domination. The movement was linked to Kikuyu Central Association ritual oaths promoting unity. It banned by British authorities in 1950s. It faced military suppression and starting on in October 1952. The Britishers declared a state of emergency and leading to 4 years of operations against rebels. By 1956, over 11,000 rebels, in which 100 Europeans and 2,000 Africans loyalists were killed. More than 20,000 Kikuyu were detained and pressured to abandon nationalist views. Despite suppression, the Mau Mau catalyzed Kenya's independence movement. Jomo Kenyatta was jailed as a Mau Mau leader who became Kenya's prime minister in 1963. And in last 2003, the Kenyan government officially lifted the ban on the Mau Mau. For the further information, I would like to call Khushi Rathod. Thank you.
Thank you, Hardi, for the background of the novel and author information. I will deal with characters and summary. Four main characters. First is Munira. Munira is one of the four main characters in this text. He left his wife and his wealthy, domineering father for fresh start as a school teacher in the Ilmore. He tried to integrate into the community but remained on the outsider. He was obsessed with Vanja, who did not love him, causing his deep torment. He showed little interest in politics, not much more interest in politics, but little interest in politics or the people's struggle. He raised in a Christian home, experienced guilt and disappear over perceived sins. He selfish, resentful, and desirous of recognition from the superior. He become a religious, fantastic, fixated on saving sinner and preparing for the afterlife. Second main character, Korega. He is serious, motivated, and passionate about the people's struggle. He grew up on Munira's father's land. He never knew his executed Mau Mau brother. He attended Syriana, but he expelled for protesting the oppressive school system. He lost his great love, Mukami, who committed suicide due to his family pressure. He came to Ilmore seeking advice while he initiated the journey to Nairobi to seek help for Ilmore's struggle. He became a teacher but was frustrated by the school lack of meaningful education. He loved Vanja but left the village to pursue communist and unionist ideals. He returned as a powerful union organizer, making him a target for the authorities. Third main character, Abdullah. He was a handicapped shopkeeper who lost his leg in the Mau Mau rebellion. Hardly mentioned earlier. He became a friend with Vanja, Karega, and Munira in Ilmar. He lived a modest life with his adopted son Joseph and his donkey. He expanded in storytelling during the group's trip to Nairobi, embodying their spirit. He intuitive, cynical, and pessimistic about people in power and societal changes. He troubled by Ilmok's transformation, Karega's departure, and Vanja's return to prostitution. He lived in near squalor and disappeared until finding scholars in Joseph and later Vanja. Fourth main character in the story, Vanja, granddaughter of Nyakunya, intelligent, passionate, intuitive, and tenacious. He left school after becoming pregnant by wealthy businessman Chimerian. He estranged from her father, become a barmaid and prostitute. He, she grieved for her lost child and longed to have another. She moved to Ilmag to be near her grandmother, befriended Munira and Abdullah. She had a one-time encounter with Munira, hoping to conceive, but rejected a relationship with him. She had a relationship with Karega, but he eventually left. She formed a meaningful bond with Abdullah, likely the father of her unborn child. She played a key role in a new Ilmog development, helping grow Abdullah's business. She ran a successful warehouse after facing business setbacks. She struggled with guilt but embraced the life philosophy of eat or be eaten. Chimeria. He was wealthy, industrialist, and former secret lover of Vanja. He made Vanjas pregnant but showed not real interest in her beyond control. He forced Vanja to sleep with him in Nairobi to secure the villager release. He betrayed Abdullah, leading to Abdullah's detention and death. He knows for his businessman acumen, greed, pride, and sense of entitlement. Nyakunya, she respected and wise elder in Elmer, and she was Vanja's grandmother. She fondly remembered her late husband and his story for his European wars. She helped revive the Thangeta tradition through the storytelling and community bonding. She cherished her ancestral land and deeply. She died shortly after learning her land would be sold due to an unpaid loan she was tricked into taking. Mazigo. He education officer overseeing local school. Munira's boss. He became a major investor in a New Ilmor. He played a role in causing the downfall of Abdullah and Vanja's bar. Chui, he former Syriana student known for his style, aptitude and leadership. He expelled for leading a strike against the headmaster Fraudsman. He later returned as a Syriana's headmaster, mirroring Fraudsman authoritarian style. He opposed teaching African writers and historians. He called in the Royd Squad to suppress a student protest. Mazigo, Chu, and third, Munira, three characters are interconnected. Let's summary. Novel start with the three murder of businessmen Chimeria, Mazigo, and Chui. Start with the novel. Four main characters: Munira, Kareka, Abdul, and Vanja. Main focus on the story because of the murder of the three characters and question about the murder four characters. The novel told in the flashback from 12 years earlier during Kenya post-independence period. and then start novel in flashback. Arrival in Ilmore. Munira arrive to teach school, escaping his strict Christian family. Abdullah and his adopted son Joseph settle in open and bar shop. Vanjas to came village. Uh, Vanja came to village, stay near her grandmother Nyakunya and works as a barmaid. She had to leave school before finishing. Karega showed a new opportunity, hoping to reconnect with the Munira due to their shared past. Uh, and village life and struggle with start four character to arrival in village. Munira become obsessed with Vanja. She want to platonic relationship. Then Abdullah reveals he was a fighter of Mau Mau rebellion. Uh, he brought leader to fail harvest, prompting a journey to Nairobi for help. Journey to Nairobi. Life of villager become increasingly difficult as the rain refused to come and harvest. Whether villages are face hardship but born through the shared story and struggles. In Nairobi, they meet a corrupt leader, including MP and Deri Reria, Munira, Abdullah, Karega, three characters detained but saved by a lawyer, Vanjas, no? Media attention and bring and the village return to donation and promise. Village transformation. Rain and outside help to revive the harvest. The villager modernize. Vanja and Karega become lovers. Munira grows jealous. Nyakunya dies after losing her land due to an unfair loan. Neo-colonialism and power struggle. Investor like Mazigo, Chu and Kaimeria take a control of village economy. Vanja and Abdullah character lose their bar and start the warehouses. Sunshine Lodge. Then Munira become a religious, fantastic and obsessed with the saving soul. Final conflict of murder. Many years back, and in Ilbo, Karega returned to Ilmor and become a union organizer and plans to strike. He met businessmen at Vanja's lodge and to counter the strike. Vanja's kill and kills Chimera for past wrongs. Munira sets the lodge on fire, seeking redemption, and Abdullah's arrive in time to save someone from the burning building. And end of the story, Munira, the inspector, the Godfrey, to conducting the Munira, and he said the trial. Karega is still detained, but hopeful that the strike and resistance again. The forces keeping regular Kenyans down with endure. Vanja is also filled with hope because she can feel Abdullah's child in her womb. Now, further information, I would like to call Yash.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Khushi and Hardi, for providing the background information. Now we are discussing the theme and one symbol that we find in the novel Petals of the Blood. Themes we find, first theme is new colonialism. As we have discussed, like the colonialism is after the colonial power have left, like British. So as we have discussed in the previous novels also, like in the we find that national bourgeoisie and after leaving the British power, so national bourgeoisies are trying to control the power. So we find the new arrival of colonialism that is done by the nationalist party who are in the nation also. So same thing we find also. We go get to know that they are free from the colonialism, but in the with the emerging power, we also find that the new national bourgeoisies, the businessmen are trying to control the have the power to control all the things that is goes around in the village, started establishing their own government and control over economy. As we know, like who has the economy, who has the business, they are the power to control everything. Colonizers and elite Africans were investing in these businesses. Throughout the novel, we find that now the village that is the located in the African country, they are started becoming more and more richer because the news medias are also covering the problems of the some of the African villages are there. So they are developing, and the new businesses are also arriving, and new investment are being made. Market loans, transportation charges, and local corruption we also find emerging in the village. Neocolonialism, as we have discussed, illusion of having power, but power has with the money and money has with the investor. Ultimate colonialism. As we find that Munira, Abdullah, Wanja, and Karega, four major characters are striving to have the good life, but because of the business class and because of the power that business class have, so they have to suffer throughout their life. Second thing we find love and passion. There are several love relationship between Wanja with Munira, Wanja and Abdullah, and Wanja with Karega. So the three relationship that Wanja has. So unhealthy love relationship, passion was there to harm the other. As we find in the Munira, who is strongly in love with Wanja, but Wanja denies Munira to get married with him. So we find the passion for the harm to other. Munira is obsessed with Vanda, as we have discussed. Kimeria was obsessed with Vanja, same. Manja was in the love war Kimeria first, then Munira. Then she gets to know that Munira is already married. So she just saves herself from himself, and she denies the proposal of the Munira. Then the Karega, who left her, second that Vanja falls in love with this Karega, but he also leaves the village. And the end of the Abdullah, who is child she was carrying, and then she get pregnant with Abdullah's child. Karega loved her but wanted to develop. So Karega, we find that he's trying to do the struggle, trying to fight with the power, who are the business class people. So he's more about thinking about the other people rather than thinking about her own relationship, his own relationship. He's conscious towards the contemporary scenario. He knows that whatever happening is because of these bourgeoisie people. So see, so he tries to fight with that. Correct. Abdullah can be considered as a true lover because she and this Abdullah and Vanja, they ultimately get married, and then Vanja also have the child of this Abdullah. Second, we find the value of human life, that is very less. Life of town, they are living in very poor condition. The education is also poor. The road conditions are also poor. So that we find priest denied to support the villagers and the child Joseph when there is no rain into this town. So they struggle a lot because they are the poverty, and the rain is not coming. So they are like there is a drought. So they priest denied to help them. Kimiri harassed them and raped Vanja. Vanja was being raped by another character, businessman, Kimeria. So she was impregnant with the child of this Kimeria also, and she was raped. MP is also ignoring the people. When they go to the another town for asking for help, the MP of that place is also tries to convince them to having this relationship with this Kimeria, and they are also all together. Representation of human life value for of elite people. Elite people have the more value rather than the poor people. All started helping when the media covered the story for their own benefits. They helped poor. Now, when the coverage, media coverage is getting out of in Africa, so all the people are coming into this village and trying to help the poor. So after the before that nobody was helping that. After getting most popular town there, then they try to help them. Second, after that we find community and brotherhood. Value of individuals is a value of community that we find. Villages can only develop their village. They are the responsible for their own village. Collective efforts, they go to another MP and tries to seek help. Part of the wider Africa and third world community. It also represents the third world community. Only collective efforts of the people can help to save their culture, people, and freedom. And journey to Nairobi. They go to Nairobi from their village to asking for help. Local and global struggle. Story of a small village, Ilmurug, but it can be story of any colonized country and its village. How they suffered also. It represents any other colonized country. Struggle is the same in the global level as well as in the village level. Imurok suggests Kenya, Africa, or any other country which is colonized. It is more connected with the Kenya. First, the struggle was as a local level. Then it goes to the global level. Fight with the local level corruption and fight with the global level corruption. When they move to Nairobi, there they also find the same problem. So they also have to struggle there. Now there is one symbol we can read as a Wanja, as a character, as a symbol. Wanja represents the new Africa that is emerging Kenya. So how they are suffering from the poor condition, how they are suffering from this bourgeoisie people and the class struggle. So that we find Wanja from the schoolgirl, a Burman ward, and then becomes the mother. So she just is being exploited from her very childhood. She struggled to develop with the changing circumstances. As like we find that various relationship we find she also being raped by this one businessman Kimeria. So that struggle we find. Just a stand with the new changes and she modified her priorities. Whatever the priorities is there, the financial situation is there. She tries to change herself. It means like Africa or any other country like Kenya is trying to change herself, like the Wanja. She rapidly started accepting the changes. Her condition represent the African women also. She also represent the African woman. What types of struggles they have to face. Death of Wanja's child, death of Kenya's children. Like at the time, as we are discussing, Mau Mau rebellion. Most of the people, most of the children have died during that Mau Mau rebellion. So that we also represent in the Wanja's character. Kenya and Africa have the history of murdering their children. That is also connected with the Wanja's character. Second child, a new hope for Kenya. Now, at last, Wanja is pregnant with Abdullah's child. So it is can be read as Kenya's new hope. That new child or new generation will seek the change in the things that is happening in the Kenya or African countries. That is from our side. These are our references, and thank you.